Hey guys, don't think I'm reverting to my old ways of reviewing everything that comes my way, but I was contacted by WePikk and they asked me if I would do a comparison video on, or just a video on their Water Pik, and I thought back to that other video I had done for Vava. And I had some people understand what I was trying to do with that, but there were a lot of people who didn't get the process I had done, where I was saying, if the Vava had done a good job of cleaning the grooves in between my sink, then there wouldn't be anything left for the Water Pik, which you know, it's what we recognize as a baseline quality product. Then there wouldn't be anything left for the Water Pik to clean out. But a lot of people didn't get that thought process there. So I accepted the WePikk as a opportunity to redeem myself and do a whole nother test line. So I made a cement block, and then I smeared some compost tea on it, and I let it dry really well, so you can see it's really dried on there. So we're going to see if the Water Piks get into the little grooves of the cement enough to clean them, and to what degree each one does it. I guess it's time to get started. So these are the three, again, that we're going to be working with. The Vava, and today I do still love this. I still have a problem where, I've gotten better though, where my hand sometimes hits the on off and I squirt myself in the face. And the refill process here on the back, the plug, sometimes I wish it were easier, because with the Water Pik here, it's just, you just flip this up and pour. I like that. So, yeah. So let's see how the WePikk goes. It comes with a little travel case, which actually it feels kind of nice, like a thin wet bag. So it keeps it from transferring any moisture to your suitcase items. We've got our charger, of course, and our replacement picks. Yeah. None of my other Water Piks had come with this. It's a little scrub brush. Interesting. I guess a tongue scraper. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing here. There's actually an instruction book I should probably take a look at. This is what I hate about unboxing videos, is that they're talking before even having experienced anything or even reading the instructions. And so that's what I'm doing. Yay! Okay, so we have our pink and our blue, just generalized Water Pik pieces. And, ooh, a very tight brush. This is a very firm bristle. I would not advise using that on your gum line at all. And what is this? Oh my gosh. Like a little nubby. Okay, yeah, I really am going to read the instructions. But what I wanted to get to was this. So I like that the water plug is actually attached. You just flip it up and reattach it, because with the Water Pik, my son doesn't bother to put that back in, and it's always exposed. I don't even know where it is. I think he lost it a long time ago. Ooh, that's not hard to fill at all. Nice. That's pretty nice. So that is comparative to the Water Pik in the fact that it's pretty easy to refill. This one, I have to sort of like tip it and do that, and then fill up that little hole there and close it back up. I mean, it's not hard, but I mean, we're talking about like the convenience, and this is more convenient than the Vava. And this one is still like the simplest of all. Unless you have a very shallow sink, then you're like, I can't quite get this under the sink because it's too tall. In which case, this one would be the winner. So really, I guess it depends on what your immediate needs are, but this was pretty darn easy to refill so far. Oh, and it even shows you I have got some instruction streak. You know what? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It was a quick read. I was right. Tongue scraper. Okay, these are the these three were the ones that I wasn't sure about. So we have a orthodontic pick here so that you can get up under braces and clean those out. Genius. I wish I had this when my son still has braces on. And this one is a plaque remover, so definitely brushing on the tooth itself. Stay away from your gums. You do not want this on your gums. You will damage them. We're not talking about bleeding only. We're talking about the fact that when you put too much pressure on your gums, they will actually start to recede. Avoid that at all costs. And this one here is a periodontal tip. And you know how when you go get a deep cleaning on your teeth from the from the dentist, they will shoot stuff up under your gums, and that's what this is. You're going for any gums that have a little bit of spreading and cleaning any debris out from under that area. Invaluable. Seriously. Genius. Now, before doing any actual testing, I want to make sure all three of them are fully charged so that they all have the same amount of energy. Another thing I appreciate with these, when this is done, I'm just going to have to rely on the fact that it's done. I'm just going to say, well, it's been 2 hours. Let's just go ahead and unplug it and use it. These ones actually let you know. They've got the blinking lights that will stop blinking when it's ready. So I don't know why they didn't add that feature into the Water Pik. I really appreciate that with the Vava and the WePikk. Now, while these are busy charging, I'm keeping myself busy with just getting to know them better, getting to know the WePikk better. I already know the Vava and the Water Pik pretty well. And I have discovered one thing of interest. We all know these are pretty proprietary. They don't have a shape that the different brands will have. This is the interesting part, is that these ones actually are similar. You can see this is the Vava one because it's older. I mean, it's several years old, so you can see that the color has worn down a bit. And I can't see if the ring has swelled. I mean, I wouldn't know, or maybe they were ever so slightly different there. But otherwise, if I put the new one into the Vava, gotta remember to push the button to do it, it holds, it works, it fits, it's wonderful, okay? That's great. The only problem I've had, though, is if I put the Vava one into this, even though they look identical and this one fits perfectly in the Vava, if I put them in the WePikk, it fits and it probably works, but if I pull, it pops right out. So I don't know if it's because this is aged or not. I will say that this one fits better. So the one that actually comes with it fits better. So if I pop it in there, if I pull, I actually have to pull pretty hard to get it out, but it still will come out. So, I mean, obviously you should still use your button so you don't strip it. Just looking at how it rests here, and this one just rests a little higher, the one that belongs to the Vava. So I think it is with the swelling of the plastic that causes that. I really do think that if you bought the two new, they would be completely interchangeable. But the fact is that the WePikk's picks work with the Vava, which means I can use the periodontal tip for myself, and then of course let Hannah or Steven take over this one. I'll let Hannah, because Steven already has the Water Pik, that's his. So Hannah doesn't have one. I'll let her have this one, but she doesn't need a periodontal tip. She's not 50 years old. I'm keeping this. And so if you live in a household where you have a lot of family members and you'd like to exchange the tips, that's where this comes in handy too. I mean, if you have different ones, I mean, I don't know, usually if you buy a brand, you stick with that brand. But if you did, I'm just saying, they're interchangeable. I don't know if that means anything to you. Next thing I'm finding out while I'm letting them charge is how much water each one holds. So the WePikk holds twice as much water as the Water Pik does. It holds 1 1/3 cups worth of water. I know they say 300 milliliters, but I spend more time in the kitchen, so I go with 1 1/3 cups. This one holds just shy of a cup, so let me fill that up to 1 cup. There we are with 1 cup. just shy of. Got a little bit left. And this one is going to take 2/3 cup. So each one progressively less. And this lid is not meant for this. There we go. Oh, less than 2/3 cup. All right, so now they're all ready to go as soon as they're done charging. Don't accidentally turn it on. I hate that. See? Almost did it. I told you. Still have a problem with that. The WePikk and the Vava are completely charged, as you can see by the lights have stopped blinking. Since this had no indicator, I'm just going to have to assume that it is also fully charged in the same amount of time. Okay, I'm all psyched up. I feel like there's been way too much buildup. Let's see what that gets us. We're going to start with the new one, the WePikk. One thing I will say is in the email, they said that this was amazing because you could take it in the shower and just keep it in the shower and use it there. It was completely waterproof. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And I did like how this is attached so it doesn't become like the Water Pik where you're just missing a piece. But the problem is it does keep opening on itself. So does that make it less waterproof if it happens to do that? That's a question to ask the manufacturer. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know several times it has opened on me as I fiddle with it. All right, but we are going to... Okay, I'm off to a really bad start with this. Okay. All right, I had a slight malfunction where it did not want to turn on for a moment. Again, everything else I love about this. I love the look of it. I love the ease of filling it up. I like the fact that you got this little window here, even though it does me no good because I can tell if it's needing full or not, but it's really sexy. I like it. I like that it has a battery indicator and it has the 3 speeds, neither of which the Water Pik has. So I like all of that, but I don't like that when I tip it, I lose ground. And there are times when I push the on button and get no response. Okay, coming inside, I wanted to see if in a actual use test, it's funny how many times you can do something and not think, what position do I normally do it in until you get to there. So here I am. And no, it does, when you use it, you don't have to turn it upside down. When you're actually using it as a human being is meant to, it doesn't really come into play. So I'm gonna have to do the test so that it stays upright. I'm gonna redo that test. The other problem I was having with this was the button. I was having trouble getting the button to turn on. I'd be turning it on. Look, nothing's happening. Then I came in here and did a manual test, and after a couple of times I realized what's happening is it has a delay. As I said, I really wanted to like this because it has all these cute, sexy features. This button is just a delay, which means you hold it for 2 seconds. Let me get back. You hold it for 2 seconds and then it turns on. But when you turn it off instantly. That is so genius. Do you know why that's genius? Do you remember my complaint about this one? If you watch the other video, and I'm going to have the card up on top for you guys to just, if you want to go back and see the other one. The one complaint I had about this was that the wonderful shape here that holds my hand and cradles it so beautifully, it aligns my thumb here. So when I go to pick it up, a lot of times my thumb lands on the on-off button. I pick it up and I'm just like, all innocent. I've done this a million times and I still don't learn. Boom, right in the face every time. This delay, that's not happening. I'm really, really impressed, okay? Still having a problem with this. This is still popping up when it wants to. I'm just using it and it pops out. Now, resume testing. Wait, I forgot I wanted to do eyes. Hold on. I'll try. It's the Vava. Oh, I'm catching the low part. Like this one, they both have similar reservoirs with the tube coming down to collect. And if this little tube is angled that way, well, when you tip, which in real life when using it you don't, but when you're doing experiments like this and you tip, well, you're no longer getting water. So I'm gonna have to come up a little higher just to be fair. Try to get my smile back in. Try really hard to get that smile on. Here is where I'm also impressed with this, is the heads it comes with. So we discussed this one where it's for braces, so you can get up into the brackets of the braces. I no longer have anybody in the house with braces, so use your imagination on that one. This one is for people of age where their gums are starting to separate. This is really good at cleaning in the gaps. So I'll just show you how that one runs. That little soft piece here goes in between your gums where you have like widening sessions. A soft nubbin. The tongue scraper. I'm going to show you how this one runs, and we'll see if you can focus in on this part here. Yeah? Okay. Okay, now this is the one that I was excited about, okay? Plaque buildup. Again, this thing's popping out right here. This is the one issue I've been having with it. I don't know how waterproof it is if this just knocks out quite so easily. I get it in there, I push it really good so it's really indented, but throughout the use of it, it will pop right back out. Okay, so this one. The bristles on this are very, very firm. You do not want this getting onto your gum line. But for the tooth enamel itself, if you've got plaque buildup,
oh wow.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting. So far, these two impress me more with their cleaning ability and their reservoir capacity and even battery life. The one and only way that this one impresses me more is, well, as long as you have a tall sink, it is the easiest to refill. And also, unlike the other ones, you can use it at every angle. Now that's pretty damn cool, but it's not like we go tilting our head upside down while we're cleaning them. But if you ever do need to, like, say, hang upside down while cleaning your teeth, get this one. Otherwise, I love these ones. Okay, so you decide how you feel. I still love the Vava. It has worked for me. What has it been, 2 years now? I've lost track. I don't know. Maybe it's been one. Maybe time moves differently for me. The Water Pik is my son's. It does an okay job. It does what it has to, but it has no battery indicator light. It has a smaller reservoir and it only has one setting, whereas these two both have the normal, the soft, and the pulse setting, and much larger reservoirs. This one, it did at least as good as the Water Pik. I feel it did anyways, but again, you decide. And here's where this one tops off. It has that delay switch, which at first I was very frustrated with, but now that I understand what its objective is, I'm like, oh, no more water in my eyeball. I can live with that. Also, I love all the tips it came with that you saw in the beginning. Those are some pretty cool tips. So I will leave the link down below, and I hope you enjoyed this. If it answered any of your questions, wonderful. If you have more, just let me know.